Ladies and glitterballs, we've got the Epiphone Muse, well, it's a 2022, and when I say glitterballs, I mean this thing is, so I don't know if I can catch it in the right light, but this thing is so sparkly. It's a beautiful, beautiful finish. And so, yes, well, you know, let's have a listen, and we'll do a little tune, and then have a listen to the pickups and whatnot, and I shall talk you around it. So, let's go. So, pickup time, and we will start, as we do, with a noisy or distorted sound, and we're going to start with the bridge pickup. Into the centre. I'll tell you what, they've got some legs, these things. Alrighty, onto the neck pickup. You know, Epiphone have just got it right, haven't they, these days? So listen to on clean, and starting again with the bridge. Now look, it does do coil splits, and I would think by now you all know what I feel about those, but just for the hell of it, let's split that bridge pickup. Into the centre. Suppose I've got to split them both. See what I mean? Alright, onto the neck. My word, very, very nice indeed. And that's just through a tiny little Black Star bedroom amp. Okay, so let's have a look round. Yeah, so the Epiphone Muse SG, it is beautiful. And once again, and I know that I've said this for the last few Epiphones that I've done, that I really am becoming harder put to discern the difference between these and a Gibson SG. I mean, apart from just the headstock revision, as you will also note, the font has changed, and now the Epiphone has got this different N, which is just exactly like the Gibson N, and so they've changed the. I mean, you know, it's a Gibson that's made in China. That's it. That's all I can say. And the only difference, well, not the only difference, but certainly probably the biggest difference is that they really do not come well set up at all. I've had to fiddle about with, out of 6, I had to fiddle about with 5 to, you know, to make. But there's nothing wrong with them at all. And the setup procedure, it's a 10-minute job. So what we got? Well, we got some very, very nice tulip keys, which are a bit of a blend of kind of Goto machine round bits, and then, you know, your tulip keys on top. They'll be, I assume they'll be Chinese pot metal manufactured, so that's how they're saving money there, certainly. And but again, nothing wrong with them. I've not measured the winds on them, but they'll be 14 to 1, I assume. And you do and I know that the logo and the flower pot will not be mother of pearl, but certainly they look, actually I'm not certain if they're mother of pearl or not, but and they look really, really nice. The finish on the singers we're talking about, I mean, this guitar's brand new, it's not been played. So the finish on the body is that really inky black, blacker than a priest's sock, and it's got all that sparkly stuff going on there, and the finish is absolutely immaculate. So what you've got is you've got an all mahogany neck. It's a very, very traditional Gibson construction, mated to a mahogany body, and the finish, of course, is consistent throughout the instrument. You've got the devil's horns, the double cuts here, do certainly echo precisely, as far as I can see, the same as a Gibson SG. But of course, Epiphone is Gibson nonetheless. I love this. I love the tenon cover here. That really is a thing of beauty, and I like the cream shrouds because, and of course, you got the matching cream control cover plate here. Now, apparently, there's an awful lot of very, very clever electronic stuff going on here, and I will point out just briefly that with your trapezoid block inlays here, which will almost certainly be pearloid, which, as we know, is just a fancy name for plastic that looks a little bit like pearl, and they sit on an Indian laurel fretboard because, of course, import and export of certain woods is a bit tricky these days with the on-site restrictions. And you do have neck binding, thankfully no nib end binding, which I am not keen on. And the other thing that I'm not keen on is that you've got the coil splits, and quite frankly, if you desire a guitar that has coil splits on it, then, I mean, to be fair, you probably picked the wrong guitar. Although it can give you a broader range of tones, I do wish that they'd be honest about what they're doing and really just stick to their original formats. And, you know, if you want full fat, let's have full fat. If you want splitty, singly things, buy a Strat. You could probably make a little poem out of that, I'm sure. So, yeah, it's really just standard SG specs, and it is the correct size. I know it's only a little thing, but I like the knobs. I like the glassy knobs. They're really, really nice. So you've got a stop tail, and you've got the Pro Tone, Tone Lock, Lock Tone, it's an ABR bridge in it, you know, and it works perfectly, I might add. And the pickups, whilst they're not screamingly hot, they are popping out roughly the same as a Gibson 57 Classic pickup, which is you know, it's not all about the power. It's, for me, it's more about the delivery. And these do have that kind of that traditional. I don't know whether I'm playing an Epiphone or a Gibson these days. It really is. They've got that good, to be absolutely fair to them. The frets are immaculate. There's no wobble at all when I put the when I put the can't even do that. When I put the fret rocker on them, they're absolutely as flat as a pancake, which is what we want to see. There's no wobbliness at all. It's just that mind. I mean, I'm saying the setups aren't very good, but let's face it, when they've been in a container coming from China to, I don't know where they go, if they go somewhere else on their journey, but certainly if they're coming from China to the UK, then, you know, you can certainly expect some humidity changes and what have you, which will obviously alter the dynamics of what was happening from when they left the factory. So, the SG Epiphone Muse, absolutely 11 out of 10. What a beautiful guitar. Get them while they're cheap. That's all I can say. So, thank you all ever so much for tuning in, and I shall look forward to seeing you on Wednesday. Alright, adios amigos. Ta-ra. No, not Wednesday, that's today. Saturday, I'll see you on Saturday. Okay, adios.